Okay, Vietnamese Coffee, do not be mean to me because I want to talk about something cool. And I know it's 2022, so let's be nice to me, alright? Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to the year 2022. 2022, it sounds eventually hopeful since for these coming 3 months, the reality and everything else in between in this world should be looking up, given that we have faced a challenge last year on shortages and the like of what we're used to already. Um, I believe that as long as we're resilient enough to wait and cut down the way we use and take care of the way we live our lives, we should be able to fend off this global pandemic that we still are living in. So now that I think about what I want to upgrade my whole life, got me thinking so much about what I can do to look around in my room and see what I need to upgrade on. I know I need a laptop upgrade, but we will get to the meat and potatoes about about CES later. At the end of each day before we go to sleep, we got to think about what we need to do as a human race to make sure that we don't really act so hungry so that we could change our mindset and emotional mindset to be humble and prepare for what's to come. The pandemic is still continuing here in California, so we have at least until February to make sure that the pandemic has been contained to transition to an endemic, or at the very most, eliminate COVID-19, whether it's Delta or Omicron, so we don't have to worry about the supply issues that we have to deal with. As a grocery store worker, I do understand after 16 years how tough and challenging it is to let the public know what we're dealing with and how we could uh, strategize the way we wait, the way we consume, and the way we uh, anticipate what's to come. While the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach are fixing its way to deliver all the goods to you guys, I believe that with enough patience, you'll be able to get the things that you need or want, whatever you ordered through Amazon or Newegg. I know that you'll be able to use them. With enough diligence and patience, you'll be able to get the things that you need. So enough rambling. Let's get into CES 2022. And I've I've been looking through several videos. There are so many to cover, but I did find some interesting things about CES and some special guests that I did not expect to see. But this person from the US government should have some hopeful good insight as to why he showed up at CES in the first place. US Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg has made a virtual appearance to discuss the 6 principles where the US Transportation Department needs to work and serve the working force. It is time for the US government to once again survey each state and provide what the public sectors ask of. Though he has visited few states showcasing unique uses of technology, Pete has more states to visit to make sure that he and his transportation department understand and study each state and their own public sectors to ensure a safe route for workers to go to point A to point B. To me, Pete Buttigieg's virtual appearance is pretty cool, but I'm sure that he has a lot more work to do in his political career to make sure that the US government caters to each state so that uh, they understand every state's need to have the US government, federal government, deliver what they can. So they have to consider this very carefully so they can adapt and cultivate what the United States of America should be able to give. My drone is somewhere inside my room. It's probably hidden in that little clothing cabinet. But I was thinking about buying another mini size drone, but since I couldn't find any more like drone coverage, thankfully there is one person that attended CES. So give this guy a follow if you haven't already, because this guy has enough information to give you what his experience about CES is like for him. Fortunately, alternate Celestial from 5path.com attended CES 2022 to check out Autel Robotics. This booth showcases both the Autel Lite and Autel Nano, similar to the DJI Mini 2, and other products like the Dragonfish lineup. Autel is rolling out particular models on a week-by-week basis, starting mid-January. Autel has few more weeks before the month finishes delivering these drones to the market. It's going to be interesting to see what Autel can do to compete with DJI and Sony. So I haven't seen any drones from either of the companies yet, aside from DJI and my frequent visits to Micro Center. I would rather see more drones on the market in Micro Center or whatever mom and pop tech market that you shop at, so that it gives a whole lot of people's moderate interest in trying out one of these. So we're gonna have to wait and see what Autel can do, and maybe Sony. If I haven't got any coverage on Sony, I'm sure that Sony can show you a conceptual drone that they're working on. So any person, like anybody in the enterprise sector, can try it out for themselves. Speaking of conceptual products, Razer does have a very odd, interesting track record of conceptual gaming products. Aside from the mask and other paraphernalia that Razer wants to showcase, like the last year's CES, Razer has shown so much, but this year is kind of interesting. So aside from the mask, Razer has a watch. Razer collaborated with Fossil to showcase Fossil's hardware with Razer software. One more impractical piece of tech is Project Sophia. Project Sophia is the world's first monitor gaming desktop, yet still a conceptual piece of art. Any person can customize the hardware, software, or have Sophia adapt to fit your lifestyle however it sees fit. So, aside from Razer's live store, none of those seem to matter to me, since I, for one, I'm not going to have any of those products except maybe a laptop from Razer. I'm sure that Razer has a good laptop update, given that AMD and Intel, which we'll get to in just a moment, has provided the latest hardware for all the laptops. So we'll get to those nitty-gritty details in a few moments. I don't think CES 2022 would not be complete without looking at Acer's ROG, so I wanted to see what they had anything up in their sleeve. Acer's ROG makes its return with a first-person experience in the Republic of Gamers world, you, the third person, as X. ROG never ceases to amaze gamers with their lineup of peripherals, high refresh rate and bigger monitors, a new Wi-Fi quad-band 6E router, and definitely the laptop lineup. The ROG Strix, Zephyrus, and Flow families are all getting a plethora of upgrades and refreshes with the latest hardware and a new Windows 11 operating system. The laptop space for ROG should be highly anticipated for when these products become available online or in store sometime in the first quarter of this year. Speaking of anticipation, there is a new update for the free game ROG Citadel 15 that was previously introduced in last year's CES. This update contains a new feature where an ROG team member, Go, is under attack, and it is up to you to be behind the new FPS to assist Go and fend off a massive attack. Also in the Citadel, you can check out new features and products added in the update. For more details, visit the link in the description below or go to your Steam account to download or update the game. After reviewing the Rise of Gamers launch event, I'm super stoked that they've released the Zephyrus G14 and its updates, so I really want to get that specific laptop. I think now it doesn't matter what color I get because they have updated the enemy matrix, which which is a lot brighter than the previous generation. So once Asus ROG's website refreshes their store and updates availability on that 2022 version of the Zephyrus G14, expect me to get my hands on it. I'm not really sure how I make with Intel, to be honest with you, but it seems to me that they are delivering the promises that I am expecting Intel to compete with their rival. So there is a lot to be said on this live stream presentation. So it's going to be interesting now for every Intel fanboy to make sure that they can pay attention to this live stream. And hopefully you can expect a new line of GPUs in the segment. Intel makes their stage presence return at CES to showcase not only the latest hardware, like the 12 Intel Core processors, yet finally competition. Also, Intel Arc GPUs are finally making its way into the laptop sector. As expected, these exciting developments will make their way into the market on the first quarter of this year. It is about time that Intel seems to be catching on in the competition to have gamers, content creators, and streamers to be fully aware of Team Blue now. Thankfully, Intel is back up in the competition market, so now it's going to pay attention to what AMD is doing so that they can make their next moves and see how Team Blue is going to contest with Team Red. So this is going to be a very exciting time for those two big companies to compete with each other. So let's be on this consistent watch to make sure that these two companies can keep the competition going as we expect it to be. Should we consider NVIDIA as a concerning point or in danger about the way they address themselves in this special address? It doesn't seem like they don't want to talk about why we're so fully aware of what the world is experiencing at this point. But we'll see what you can make out of this, though, really. Unfortunately, this CES special address coverage from NVIDIA was not the most exciting due to boring yet distracting statistics to focus on the main issues of hardware availability. The questions that may be frequent enough to ask yourself are, where is my RTX 3080? And why are there supply and chip shortage issues making me wait for so long? Sure, the RTX 3050 may be available sooner to anticipate to serve budget gamers. In addition, the RTX 3080 Ti and RTX 3070 Ti in the laptop space will soon be available the first week of February. The biggest red flag that this special address seems to freak out most of the global viewers in the community is essentially the next generation BF GPU, the RTX 3090 Ti. At the time of making this video, there is no availability, and rightfully so. I wouldn't even care less if people that I know would dare to ask me if I ever going to get one for my rig. I can safely say, hell no! Let's wait until the Lovelace architecture delivers. Lovelace better check all the boxes of all related real-world issues across the board. Okay, seriously, the RTX 3090 Ti is going to rob all rich and poor people's money so that NVIDIA it can make off a huge profit for anybody in this global pandemic. I'm definitely sure that Jensen Huang is sitting pretty at his home with his leather jacket on, but I shouldn't worry about the 3090 Ti at all because, let's be honest, if it's going to be raised to $3,000 or $4,000 for 3090 Ti, hold that off. we don't really need a 3090 Ti for your rig, and you're not going to mine it off of it. If you're truly going to game and use a real GPU just to create content, you might as well wait for Lovelace. Lovelace is going to be your saving grace, if you will, if you can wait longer and longer instead of like using the Ampere architecture, because they're using the same GA102 die to make the 3080s, 3090, and the 3080 Ti. So it's best for you, if you're gonna wait for an upgrade, hold off on buying an NVIDIA GPU because you have AMD and their Radeon RX lineup. So why don't we just focus on that, really? This CES presentation kicks off with Dr. Lisa Su and her ready-to-go list of hardware coming to shelves this first quarter. The Ryzen 6000 mobile processors are the next best thing, as well as the new Radeon RX 6000S series GPUs in laptops. Together, AMD has been working with the trusted partners to make sure that the mobile space is equipped with enough product to compete with other brands. The $200 Radeon RX 6500 XT is not going to be a surprise if the product sells out too fast or never shows up due to shipping delay issues. The new Radeon Super Resolution sounds like a 2.0 version of Fidelity FX Super Resolution. The naming CPU SKU X3D represents the 3D V-cache, a chip stacking design explained previously in Computex 2021. This now competes with Intel's Core i9-12900K CPU, a neck-to-neck race for performance long awaited for any content creator, gamer, and streamer to get their hands on at this point. While the competition is brewing this first quarter, AMD is taking their development track record to the next level. Zen 4. Come the second half of this year, consumers are on high alert as they are going to make interesting decisions to buy, upgrade, benchmark, however each end user case depends on anyone's curiosity. So that's it for the CES coverage that I've looked at. There are some very awkward moments that I was viewing these CES coverages, especially with the Intel presentation where those two dudes were showcasing off the hardware while taking a selfie to make sure that this looks like, to me, there's like two potential dads are trying to share how good technology is.
We intend to enable new interactions with full flexibility across ecosystems, operating systems, and form factors. And most importantly, it'll be built on top of that Intel Evo promise I just talked about. So Chuck's going to give us a glimpse of what this experience will look like.
Hey GB, this new Intel technology will break through the communication barriers no matter what your devices are or no matter what OS you're running. So let me give you some examples. The first thing we have my iPhone here, but you can see my iMessages and SMS texts are showing up on my Evo laptop. Not only can I see them, I can easily reply. Now, there's also devices that are attached to our phone, such as our watches. So let's go ahead, make sure we got everything in here. We'll go to our health. And you can see I got my heart rate and my oxygen rate right there. I can also take a look at my recently captured ECG captures. So again, all my health data right here on my Evo laptop. Now, many people also love second displays when they travel. So let me show you how I can take my Android tablet and turn it into a second display. We're going to click on our tablet. We're going to hit extend screen. And you can see how my workflow is already moving across both screens. Now, let's take a look at those devices that everybody has in their house, like a smart TV. So I'm going to go here and take a picture real quick. Go to my TV. Let's go take a camera. Oh, gee, there you are, GB.
Photobomb you a little bit there. Sorry, Chuck.
And let's go ahead and project that up to our TV. And you can see it's going to land up right on my TV so I can share it with everybody. See, you caught me by surprise, GB.
Saying the word Ti instead of Ti is a little too much and painfully annoying.
Today, we are announcing the RTX 3080 Ti, bringing the flagship 80 Ti class, the RTX 3080 Ti, RTX 3080 Ti laptops, the RTX 3070 Ti. RTX 3070 Ti.
It's got a NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3080 Ti in this thing, so it's going to be pretty powerful.
With a powerful 3080 Ti, the RTX 3090 Ti, the RTX 3090 Ti.
The RTX 3080 Ti.
It has the most powerful Intel Core i9 processor, an NVIDIA RTX 3080 Ti, Intel Core i9 processor, and RTX 3070 Ti. Plus it boosts the RTX 3070 Ti.
Extend higher power range for creator laptops to RTX 3080 Ti. Now supporting up to RTX 3080 Ti. To sustain the greater performance of NVIDIA RTX 3080 Ti and RTX 3070 Ti.
They feature NVIDIA's newest GeForce RTX 3070 Ti and GeForce RTX 3080 Ti.
So I've yet to try all the updates whenever I can, if I have time. I'm gonna look over the ROG Citadel 15's update, as well as hopefully getting that Zephyrus G14. So to wrap it up, I'm excited to get my hands on the update on the ROG Citadel 15, as well as the newly updated Zephyrus G14. So those are my two major goals for this year, if I'm lucky enough to get my hands on them. So with that said, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!